Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. It is the Monday, the week of Christmas, and I'm super excited to have a guest join me because we're going to talk all things kind of Christmas, right? I know that she has some things in the works or has some things that has been released that has to do with Christmas. So I wanted to have her on and she just joined the live. So I'm going to get her on here and add her on here. There she is. Everybody, I want to introduce my next guest. She is an author. She used to be a former Miss Virginia. I hope I got that right.
Hey!
And she's an on-air host. Everybody welcome Nancy Red. Hey, 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 Nancy.
Thank you for having me. I have my book right here. Yay.
Yes, we're going to get into that. I know you're limited on time, but I wanted to start with like your journey. I love that we have a lot of things similar, okay? We're on
I
air
feel like
talent.
we're like sisters from another mister.
Oh my God, yes.
Except
same.
I need your tips on hair coloring because your highlights are fire and I need to get in on this.
Okay, I need that thickness because I love your natural hair. It is absolutely beautiful. I love it. But so yes, I do feel that. I felt that too. I was like, I gotta interview her. I gotta talk to her because there's so many similarities here, and I absolutely love it. So let's talk about how you got started. You started your journey as a. Oh, did I lose you? I hope I didn't lose you. Let's see. I might have lost Nancy. Let's see. It's still thinking about it. Nancy, where did you go? Okay, it said she was kicked off for some reason. So let's try to get her back on here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Not a problem, Nancy. We can get you back on here. Okay.
See,
There we go.
The internet gods knew I had gotten off track. We started talking about hair. They knew if you start talking to a Black woman about hair, the conversation will not go anywhere else. So it was like, you know what? We're going to just restart this whole thing and stay on track.
I love it. So let's get on track. I want to know how you went from the pageant world to then on air hosting. So were you like a pageant queen as a kid?
No, girl, it's like you. We're trying to figure out any way to get on air. And back in the day, before Instagram, or I'm older than you, so I just turned 40. So before there was Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, there was a time, everybody. The Miss America pageant or the Miss USA competition, they were really great ways to get eyeballs on you. And
Okay.
so I was really fortunate to have an incredible team. I come from a small town called Martinsville, and it's actually called Martinsville, Henry County. And so the wonderful people behind that really helped me kind of get it together. And I had never done an official pageant before, and I didn't know what I was doing. But everyone was so great, and they helped me get in shape, and we learned how to walk in heels. And on the Miss America broadcast, I actually got my first on-air agent. And so from there, I was able to kind of start my career. And from there, I went to Plum TV, which was in Martha's Vineyard in the Hamptons. And my children just discovered last night, it's the funniest thing, my old reel. And I'm sure you have old reels. I don't know. Do you have a VA? Do you have, Black don't crack. So you could be 20, you could be 80. We don't know. And I'm not about to call you out for whatever you are. But I found my old VHS reel. And it was so cute. It was like young me in Martha's Vineyard interviewing all of these celebrities on vacation. And so from there, I moved to New York, and I was taking a hosting class, and I got the best advice of my entire life. And advice, which was, all of you in this hosting class have the ability to be hosts, because at the end of the day, the basic capacity is there in many of us, right? And we're all great, and we can all beat the face, but it often comes down to platform, and it comes down to why you. What would your seat be if filled in a panel, right? And so she said, you have to build a brand. In order to build a brand, you need to write books, figure out what your thing is, what
Mm.
people can talk to you about. And so for me, in my 20s, so now again, like we always iterate, right? So when I was fresh out of college, I was women's studies at Harvard, and I'd just done the Miss America competition. And for me, body image was what I was passionate about, because even after I had done all this, winning swimsuit and all this, I still felt really gross about my body. And I
Mm.
wanted people to know that it's a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. You could have the most banging body, theoretically, whatever banging body means in your culture, because it means a different thing in all cultures, right? And
Right.
still feel terrible. Or you can just love your body and yourself and YOLO. And so my first book in that hosting class, she's still my hosting coach, Barbara Barna. I love her. And in that class, I stopped listening to her and I started on a legal pad writing out the proposal for my very first book, which originally was titled One Boob is Bigger Than the Other and Other Body Drama All Girls Face. And it was a book that turned into my New York Times bestselling book, Body Drama, that talked about everything that we go through, whether it is difficult periods or cellulite or scars or dandruff or ashiness, and it was photographic.
Not ashiness, girl.
Oh yeah, girl, ashiness, because people need to know how to handle the ash. And so, but there was no mainstream book talking about the ash. And so I feel very fortunate to have been able to do that. And that led, as I grew, into different books like diet drama, pregnancy OMG, other fiction books. And then I had kids, and that's how we get to be here. That's how we get the Santa hat and the real Santa, and my first children's book, Bedtime Bonnet.
Yes, yes. So I was looking through. I'm like, this girl is writing. She is doing. I need to, because I'm wondering how, like, you tapped into that literary side of you. You know, I mean, to be vulnerable in some areas, and I absolutely love that. And like you said, it's like you took taken baby steps back then, which led to your book that's out now. And I absolutely love it. I read it, and it's such a cute book. And one thing that I did notice that stuck out to me about the real Santa is how you portrayed Santa as a black Santa, and you know, and you put that in the book. So why was that so meaningful? Because you know, you could have went any race with Santa, but you chose a black Santa.
But could I have? I mean, could I have? Well, because that my growing up, my Santa's black. I didn't really think, honestly, I didn't think much about this until I had kids. So much of our childhood, it was just our childhood, right? And then I had kids, and in this particular situation, I was surprised when I had my first child, my son August, who's now 10 years old. I was very surprised that there wasn't the diversity of merchandising that we see now. I laugh because the real Santa has come out at the perfect time, because it's like, I call it the Black Santa Bonanza. It's so much fun because our private Santa is now public, and it's great because instead of what I had to do, I wrote about this for the New York Times, and I've done other things, which is like search for, you know, different Santas here, color them in. We had the opportunity to have mainstream products, not only by mainstream consumer organizations, but also independent creators who have the resources to sell high quality, handmade, or close to it objects that are diverse. And so The Real Santa is one of a bunch of Christmas books this year that have come out with incredible diverse Santas. And I'm grateful because it represents the Santa in my house. I don't know what the Santa in your house looks like. What does your Santa look like?
Girl, he ain't even. See, I don't have any kids, so I have yet to tackle that. But I do believe that it is going to be a black Santa. We up in this family, there's probably my nephews and things of that nature. I try to cater that route, but we don't really even like talk about Santa that way. I haven't.
What about when you were growing up? Smart. When you were growing up, did you have questions about Santa? Did you see different Santas?
Now, why are you interviewing me, Nancy?
Oh, because I can see the tables have turned. I apologize. I'll behave. Okay, never mind. I'm interested. I'm sorry. Like, I talk about you all the time. I want to know about you. Like,
I know. I would probably say, I'm just giving you a hard time, but I would probably say it was depicted as a white guy. I mean, all the movies, all the, you know, paraphernalia. I don't think it was really that ubiquitous as it is now. So, but
yeah, I think I had gotten out of the age where I knew it was my mom. You know, I knew
Oh,
I left cookies for a while, but I mean, I don't, yeah, like from what I can remember, I just after a while I kind of figured it out. It was mom coming down, putting the presents under there. You know who did catch me? You know what figure did throw me off was the tooth fairy. Now I believed in that mug for a long time.
let me tell you, that tooth fairy, there it's so real. There's so many great magical things, and I held on to Santa for longer than I held on to the tooth fairy. But so much of it just has to do with how much my mom could do.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't hold it together. Sometimes I would wake up and the tooth was not, it was still there. I was like, hey, wait a second here. Am I just not loved? You know, like just
No, but
forget.
I was so stunned. I'm like, how did she get under my pillow? Out of all places, I feel like I slept light, but clearly I did
Aw.
not. And so I was just always very curious, like, how did she do that? How did she pull that off? And I believed in the tooth fairy for a very long time. So,
Anybody who wants a diverse tooth fairy book, there's an amazing book called Tallulah the Tooth Fairy. And I believe that's the name of the book. If you Google that, the right book will come up. We have it. It's adorable. Tallulah, and she's a CEO. She's a business-oriented tooth fairy, and she is not playing
playing
around.
around. Now,
So
tell me, what's the next diverse figure that you're on a quest to write a book about?
and it's so I'm not. It's so I don't know. My children are my muses, and I'm very fortunate to be able to write what hits me. And so with my first book, Bedtime Bonnet, my daughter didn't want to wear her bonnet because she ain't seen cartoon characters wearing her bonnet, and it was just me and grandma,
Oh,
and I was just like, well, we can't have this. And there wasn't a mainstream book that talked about Black nighttime hair rituals, and there was very little media that talked about Black nighttime hair rituals in a positive way. It was always someone got banned from wearing a bonnet somewhere, and I don't have time for that. I want there to be material that my child can infuse their soul with that spreads the joy about my culture. I want hearts filled with goodness and comfort and security so that the bonnet has positive connotations.
now
So
let's
what
talk
my
about the bonnet real quick though, before you keep. I don't know if you know, but within this time that we were like going through the pandemic and the lockdown, and we're still going through the pandemic, that's another situation. But there was this bonnet discourse that was going on Twitter. I think it even went on into Instagram, where Monique got involved and she was saying like, ladies, don't wear your bonnet to the airport, and like, have a little bit more decorum about yourself. So what is your thoughts about women wearing bonnets more like as a fashion accessory? They're not seeing it as something that you wear to bed. It's something that you can wear wherever you are to make you feel comfortable and preserve your hairstyle. What is your thoughts on that?
I think, well, there's a couple of things. Number one, a lot of men wear bonnets because men have a lot of, and boys are wearing bonnets because they are being very careful about their hair too. There are some beautiful bonnets, and I think that I am in no place to tell somebody what they can or cannot do with their bonnet. I'm not them. I don't know what's going on. You don't know what someone's going on in their life and why they are what they're doing. But also, I would just have to shout out. There's some incredible handmade, small business owned bonnets that, of course, my brain is blanking on right now, and that they are outside worthy bonnets. People need to see these bonnets. And so for me, I don't care about all that drama. I really just care that my daughter snatches her hair up in that bonnet at night so that her curls are laid and she doesn't feel weird about it when she's at a sleepover or something else.
Or
So
even when she gets older, I mean, there's still some women that, I mean, it takes an adjustment to wear your bonnet in front of a loved one, or you know what I mean?
oh,
Like,
I remember the first time I finally gave up and had too many broken ends and put the bonnet on with my husband. And like we were just dating in college at the time, and I finally he was like, "What's that?" I was like, "That's my bonnet." And he was like, "What's a bonnet?" I was like, "It protects my hair and means that it looks great in the morning." And he was like, "Well, can I have one?" And he was like, "This looks great. It looks like it keeps your head warm." Because so much, and you know how it rolls, so much of our personal stigma just They aren't even real. It's like the boogeyman. If we just get over a lot of what an aspect of society tells us at some point, which is an aspect of you is not worthy, or you should be concerned about something, or you should, care about this, it just limits you. And I
Yeah.
have realized in my life, a lot of my thought processes were limited by respectability politics or just other types of cultural shaming. And I am enjoying my little modicum of power and privilege to try to make differences and to make it so that our next generation has fewer and fewer of those. Because you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. So let's talk about the real Santa, because I'm approaching my time limit with you. But I want to know from this book, are you hoping that it will be a staple for? I'm pretty sure you do, but hoping that it would be a staple for a lot of Black children, or maybe even not Black children, just children in general.
Well, no author's ever going to say, well, I hope my book can fly by night.
I know, exactly.
But it was written and illustrated by the incredible Charnel Pinckney Barlow. She is just phenomenal, and I love her, and I'm so grateful for her for giving her talents in a traditional way so that it feels classic. I
Right.
hope that it stays in people's hearts and homes for as long as it can. But even if it doesn't, those who it does touch, I feel grateful to have had the opportunity to be read by.
No, I love it. And I want to know, what's a Christmas tradition that you and your family hold every year? What is something that you guys do?
Well, I mean, when it's not the Rona, my entire extended family
Yes.
Christmas carols every single year.
Oh,
and we
really?
sing like the Temptations, the Drifters, and it's so fun. We go from house to house and we give toys to people in need. And so I really miss that. I am looking forward to hopefully next year we get back to it, because it's just the best. It's the best way to just connect with your community, and it's one of my favorite traditions since childhood that my cousin graciously has always organized for at least, I don't know, 30 years at this point.
I love that. No one slams the door in your
Well,
face.
we have a routine. Everyone expects it, and they always
Okay.
have food waiting. It's like 20 houses that you go to. You have your cycle. And new houses come in, and old houses are phased out. And we have different people each year that we would give gifts to. So
Now, do you know how to sing?
No,
Or,
no.
Okay.
I know my talents. I know my strengths. I also know my weaknesses. I know how to be solo that you can't really hear me. I'm in the background.
I love that. So low you can't hear me. I love that. Well, go ahead. I'm letting everybody know to make sure you pick up The Real Santa for your kids this Christmas. I think this is a really great Christmas book for them, or something that you could read as we approach Christmas Day. This is a great book for them because, yeah, they need something more. They need a different narrative. So I thought it was really cute. I read it. It kind of rhymed a little bit. It had some lyrics up in there. So
you found some moments.
Yeah,
some moments for you in The Real Santa.
I was like, bars.
Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. And you just look fabulous. Are you going to a holiday party or something after this? Because you just look ready to go. You got the background. You got the green. You got the waves. I'm covetous. This is great. I mean,
you are so sweet. No, I'm not. I actually just got dolled up for you, girl. I said, okay, I'm going on this live. Let me judge a little bit. Jesus.
You are all judge, and I appreciate it. And you're doing a great job.
Of course.
This is not an easy task, but you're making it work.
I try to make it work. And listen, off the live, we should definitely connect. I mean, it's always a good idea, for Black women in media to come together. So,
oh my God, 100%. I actually just joined this adorable group called Black Women in Media, and it's a bunch of the youths, and I love the youths. Because I'm learning so much from them and their incredible hustle. But also, we have to join together. We cannot live in isolation. We cannot be a solo entrepreneur. We have to raise each other up and build each other up and share our little bits of information and crumbs of knowledge so that we can make cakes.
Yes,
And
and make a
stacks.
community. That's what I'm talking about. Stacks. I love to hear it. So yes, if let's definitely connect off camera, and see, you know, what we can all materialize, because there, I feel like synergies are there, girl. Like you said, I felt like we're separated at birth. We a sister from another mister.
Yay! I love it. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everyone watching. And thank you
Yes.
so much for helping me promote my book.
Yes, absolutely. The Real Santa. Please go and get it, guys, for your kids. I think it's a great, great book. And congratulations to you, Nancy. And we'll connect soon, okay?
100%. Thank you.
All righty. See you later. Bye.
Bye.